Hi, Ipshita.
Hi, Neha.
Thanks for joining the conversation today. When the series started, we have talked a lot about growth. We have talked a lot about AI. But today, we will be talking about what matters the most. It is, hiring the right people in the right company. So, AI is transforming recruitment from sourcing to, screening to even predictive hiring. From your perspective, how is AI shaping the way we hire and evaluate the right fit?
I'll be telling you about almost 16 years back. It was kind of a legacy recruitment which we used to have. Then it shifted to, I would say, intuitive recruitment, where very much your intuition-driven data had to be, coming up with recruitment of the right talent. I'm very impressed by, from last 2 to 3 years, it has transformed itself to data-led driven talent. And that matters most, I think, when you look forward for the right talent. Being in a million often country where we have good resources, it's very difficult to choose the right one in those sources. So I think the data led driven kind of talent has really come up. The other thing which I really like, which has started with the sourcing to the screening part of it, would be, now I'm sure the talent advocates talk about not what's the role that's fitting in, but what is the capability of that role which would grow to make that talent happen. And that matters most, because I feel that that's where we talk about the growth of the person. So it's not a role fit, but it's a growth fit that has come up into the sourcing to screening part of it.
When you think about the right kind of talent Taazaa needs, what skills or mindset shifts are becoming non-negotiable according to you?
So I'll again, reiterate that for us, it has now become more of honesty to loyalty. Now, there is a thin line between an honest and a loyal candidate. And that matters to us most, because when we say an honesty, can be that the person is honest towards the values that he may or she may have. But when it comes to loyalty, it turns to be a bigger perspective in a company. And that also reiterates the fact that retention is something that happens naturally when you hire a loyal person. The other thing which now I always say is never a non-negotiable part would be the learning agility, to adapt, to grow, and to, I would say, learn faster.
With Gen Zs forming a significant part of today's workforce, how has the culture evolved and what does the leadership need to think differently?
Perfect. This is a very interesting question, Neha, for I would say for any HR, because the ones who are actually hiring the talent, with millennials as well, with boomers, they say what they are, and Gen Zs, it's a very vast difference. I would club the question into one, because the answers are very correlated here. So I think the shift that has come is from the point of view of the mindset. And when I talk about it, now Gen Zs, if you talk or you just term it out, from job securities, it has gone to growth security. So the mindset has shifted. I'm sure the leadership has to, have that kind of mindset where they look forward for making sure that these talents are engaged and their energies are engaged in the right manner.
So, Ipshita, in a fast-paced AI-driven environment, how do you balance performance expectations with psychological safety and long-term engagement for an employee?
Perfect. So this question talks about the psychological safety, which is probably again the new term that we are hearing in this kind of era where recruitment, or you talk about being into HRBP. This psychological safety has come to the first priority of every employee. So I always say that set high standards, but remove the fear. So that fear of, okay, this is the standard that has been set. This is the kind of work that I'm going to do. This is the best level work that I'm going to do, but I'm not, a little bit of fear that if I go wrong, or what is going to happen if I don't deliver. I always say that when you talk about that psychological safety, managers or the supervisors who are, taking care of it, they have to remove the fear from there.
Thank you, Ipshita. The conversation was super fun for us.
Thank you, Neha. it was a pleasure to be here.